All right, so we came across something really important and we wanted to share it with you. I actually talked about this 4 years ago, and YouTube actually banned my second YouTube channel 5 hours after I posted this video, and it was about the jabs. And what I said basically was the ad, you remember the ad they came out with back in 2000 that said prepare for the zombie apocalypse? And I had said at that time that it was going to combine with 5G technology, and it was going to basically make people mind fucked, basically, like zombies. I mean, it was going to take over. Well, Dr. Rashid Buttar, and my mom just shared this with me last night, made a post back in May of 2023 that said that exact scenario was going to play out, that there's nanotechnology in the vaccines and all forms of it, and it was going to combine with 5G technology, that it was going to make people just basically into zombies, that we were going to be attacked by wavelength frequencies. And I don't know if there's a counter to it or not. It's very alarming news, and one thing clicked in my head, because there's this something called the Deagle Report, D-E-A-G-L-E. And what the Deagle Report is, it's a CIA front group. So the CIA funds it, basically. And they came out saying that several countries in the world were going to have massive population reductions. We're talking 80% population reductions. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was going to be, like what was going to cause it. I thought, okay, maybe the rapture of Jesus is coming, you know, and the good people are going to be taken up. You know, that could account for it. But really, I think that what it is going to be, this is going to happen. And Dr. Rashid Buttar came out saying that in May of 2003 last year. And all of a sudden, that's on his X account, or formerly Twitter. Back when he posted it, it was Twitter. But, you know, now there's not been another post from him on that account since May of 23. And my mom's wondering, did he die? She thought that somebody had killed him. I don't know. Possibly. But that post is still up. She thought it was kind of fishy that it was allowed to remain up there. So I don't know, but I'm a firm believer this is going to happen. I said it was going to happen 4 years ago, and literally on that announcement, they banned and censored me and took my whole account down in 5 hours of making that announcement. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I really do foresee this is going to happen, honestly. And I preach from the rooftops for people not to get it. Very few people listen to me. And 3 of my friends who actually got the jab are now dead. I'm not saying it's from that. It could very well be. But Jana Freeland, she died on May 8th of this year. Tanya Derenberger died May 23rd last year. And then my Facebook friend Belinda Smith, who moved from Virginia Beach to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, died last year. She was about 58. Tanya Derenberger was 60, and Jana Freeland was 42. Now, they all had their separate health problems for sure. I'm not saying the vaccine necessarily caused it. Now, we know that the jabs caused heart attacks worldwide. When I was in the Army, my first sergeant had one the day of getting it in that evening. We had a guy from New York who was 30 years old as a specialist. He got it, and then he went diving down in the swimming pool in that local town in Germany, and he died, but they revived him and brought him back. So we know the problems. Athletes got it, you know, many heart attacks the world over. We know what it was from, but we think this is going to happen. So when you look at that advertisement by the Centers for Disease Control saying the zombie apocalypse is coming, all they've got to do is activate that 5G kill switch. And when they do that, a lot of people are going to be made into zombies. So it's just the way it is. You know, it sucks. I don't know. I came up with the theory. I was like, well, wait a minute. If they're attacking us with wavelength frequencies from these cell phone towers or whatever it is, I've had people argue me on that. I don't care. But they're using frequency modulation to attack us. My mom used to be in biofeedback. That's where it's kind of like Reiki in a way, where you're using energy, you know, to affect your aura and stuff. So she's a firm believer that this kind of technology can be used against us. But I thought, well, in the 20s and the late 1800s, people were using frequencies to heal themselves. They would get inside of giant church bells and ring it, and those frequencies would help with your health somehow or another. I can't explain exactly, but they did, and they suppressed that information from us. So I thought maybe if we could use some frequency to counteract it, you know, maybe it would not affect people if we could just activate some kind of frequencies to throw those off, you know? I don't know. It's just a theory I've got. I know this video is really dark. It's night. It gets dark quicker now as the summer wears on. So, just want to get this news to you. It's very alarming. Dr. Rashid Buttar, look him up. See if he's still alive. Find that post on Twitter that he made. And maybe you guys will start to believe that this is actually going to be a reality with the Deagle Report and massive population reductions. And I told my mom, I said, look at the countries that they announced, the CIA, through the Deagle Report. I said, what countries are we talking about? She said, America, Great Britain, and parts of Europe. And then the ones that weren't supposed to have population reductions were Africa, South America, and some other nations that did not push the jabs. Oh, and Australia was a bad one. Australia, we're going to have massive population reductions too. So, can't say we didn't try to warn you guys. I know this is going to fall on deaf ears for a lot of people. A lot of people think this is crazy speak, but you know, there's a lot of conservatives that have woken up since 2020. I was on the scene. I said this from the very start. You know, we warned you. I had it banned. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen for sure, but I'm looking at that announcement was by the end of 2025 is when these population reductions would occur. My logic is it's going to happen right around the presidential election. They're already pushing Kamala Harris out to be the successor for Joe Biden, even though she's not a real nominee yet. She's going to be put out there, and Donald Trump's going to have to run up against pure evil. We've seen the clips from her. She wants people dead. She wants open borders. She wants all this stuff. It's not good, you know. So we'll get you more information, guys. Sorry that this video is so dark, but it's important stuff, and we've got to tell you about it. So until next time, Godspeed.